This is the Nerd Academy Podcast, episode 29, San Diego Comic-Con News Roundup.
The Nerd Academy Podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy Podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Good morning, class, and welcome back to the Nerd Academy Podcast, your source for nerdum, commentary, and news. And this is our inaugurary San Diego Comic-Con News Roundup. San Diego typically is Christmas time for us nerds. Despite the San Diego at-home situation due to COVID-19 and people not wearing their goddamn masks, we still have a decent amount of news. Some of this news breaking before and after the convention even. On the horn for this episode, we have Black leader Travis Grossman.
Bop, bop, bop.
Bop, 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 bop. And we have Joel engineering with an unsettlingly tall can of Coca-Cola.
I'm awake.
I'm glad you're awake. I just don't like how tall that can is. It's just
Well, if you tuned into, I think it was CanR 28, CanR 28, you'll notice that I fell asleep about 10 minutes in, and I disappeared from the episode. I will not do that this time.
yeah.
For 1,000 years,
Joel's-
he lay dormant.
Joel has the audacity to say that like he nodded off at his chair and we left him alone. This man just kind of had the face of, yeah, I'm gonna head out, and then just walked over to the couch and nuzzled himself in, and we didn't call attention to it until the end of the episode.
That's incredible.
I
Yeah.
passed out. I was out like a lion.
Yeah,
I feel that.
yeah, I had to holler for him to wake up because we were all like, "Is he doing a bit?" Because his face is buried, and he'd be smiling by now, and he knows that. So I can't tell. It was like, Joe, wake up! And he was like,
My favorite
yeah.
part, which if you listen very closely to the end of the episode, you'll hear, who was it? Levi ask, I don't know how to turn it off.
Yeah.
And it's like, Joel, what's the button? I said, space bar.
It was funny and very adorable.
That did stay in, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
It's in a
Yes.
fade out, though. A little bit of
That's
fade
okay.
out. Yeah.
Speaking of other shows, before we dive into the news from San Diego, we have some of the San Diego news that regards Star Wars. So go check out Knights of the Nerd Republic from this week. And if ye be bold enough, I appeared on the Bombadcast this week.
I still need to watch it.
And
Twice. Well, okay, this week and then another time.
yeah. So I was on the most recent episode of the Bombadcast that is currently in their feed at the time that people would be hearing this. Go check that out. Scotty Jarod just kind of had a moment and kept having his moment. And it kind of went from there. Watch the YouTube version. I highly recommend you watch the YouTube show. I don't think it's quite as entertaining if you were to listen to it. But yeah, and then this Saturday, tune back into the Bombadcast because we did an actual episode. We actually talked about Star Wars that time, and we did a character analysis on a character I'm not very familiar with.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him. It's Kyle Ron.
Kyle Ron. Oh, you mean Kilo Ran?
Yeah, Kylo Ren.
Okay.
Yeah, him. Yeah. We did an episode on Kylo Ren. And
I think you'd like him, Jarod.
You think?
Yeah, I think he's your type.
We tried to convert Scotty into a Raylo,
Yeah.
which was fun.
Yeah. Tune in for that. It was a very fun time. So yeah, with that, we are going to dive headfirst into the San Diego Comic-Con news roundup here, starting with Marvel 616. Marvel 616 is going to be an anthology docuseries on Disney Plus that is going to shine a light on different Marvel characters who have either been forgotten or overlooked, or whom the spotlight hasn't been on very intensely. Names such as Kamala Khan, Black Panther. Despite him having his movie, people still don't quite know the Black Panther deep lore quite yet. A lot of it is to show just how diverse the Marvel universe is, and representation matters, and showing people these characters who we haven't seen yet is a great way to do that. I think this is also a great way to kind of prime audiences for some of the stuff we're going to be seeing down the line. Mm-hmm. We have Shang-Chi coming up. We have a laundry list of directors working on future Marvel movies, most of whom are people of color. So there's a lot of diversity already in the MCU that's being brought to the next level, and we also get to see just how diverse and beautiful and wide-ranging the Marvel universe is as a whole, and I'm very excited for this.
Me too.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters here who you kind of know because of their gimmick. Mm-hmm. I think that's the case for a lot of like B through C tier characters, where it's like, oh, I know that thing they do, and that's all I know about them. Like Kamala Khan, I think a lot of people just know her as, oh, she's the Muslim Inhuman who has like Mr. Fantastic powers, and that's kind of all they know about her. And this will be a great opportunity to expose a lot of these amazing characters to a wider range of people. And like I said, I think they're priming audiences for appearances from a lot of these folks. We aren't going to dive into it because I haven't really seen a whole lot of sources I trust quite yet reporting on it. But there are rumors that Kamala Khan might be appearing in Captain Marvel 2.
Which would be neat.
Which would be very neat. If the fandom menace machine lost its shit over Captain Marvel the first time, I think including Kamala Khan,
I think they're brave. I
think they'll all explode.
Yeah.
Which makes me happy.
That scene at the end of the first Kingsman movie where everyone's heads just go up in fireworks? It's going to be that, but the Phantom Menace.
I'm okay with that.
Me too.
I'm okay with that. Pardon? But yeah, Marvel 616, very excited to dive into that goodness. Moving right along, we have a trailer for Marvel's Hailstorm.
Hailstorm.
This was originally supposed to be, I believe, in the rollout for some of the Marvel TV stuff, and then they decided it wasn't going to be directly MCU related, so then Hulu picked it up. Trailer looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks very interesting. It looks like a nice horror thriller.
A Marvel horror thriller. Man, we don't have a lot of those.
We don't.
It's a good thing we're getting one on Hulu.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good thing we are for sure getting one on Hulu. Travis, you're not much of a horror guy.
I'm really not.
I'm not a big horror guy. I am, but I'm picky about it.
Yeah, that's kind of I'll watch it, and usually depending on the thing. So this, I'd probably watch to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Normally, apparently someone's trying to get into my Samsung account. That or just my password's old, and it's
Do you guys get notifications every single day of someone trying to get into your Twitter account?
No.
Joel, you might want to contact Twitter.
You might want to get that looked at, buddy.
Yeah, I just get texts with the code every day.
That's not good.
I know.
Joel, you really need to contact Twitter.
But you know what's worse? I don't know if it's for my personal account or for the Nerd Academy account, because I can't remember what phone number's under for the team.
Well, it'll say.
No, it doesn't. It just
doesn't?
says your login code is
Oh, yeah. Someone's definitely trying to hack into either your Twitter or our Twitter.
right.
We should probably
But
talk
I mean,
to
they
Twitter.
can't because we have two-factor authentication. So
Yeah.
fuck off.
He's right.
Try me, bitch.
Fuck off.
You have to go through a Joel to get to our Twitter account.
Yeah, good luck with that.
You will lose.
What if it... Anyway,
Anywho, I would watch this to enjoy it. I don't watch a lot of horror, but when it's good, it's good. It's one of those things that, like, a younger me would have been like, horror is just bad. Kind of like how you treat, like, a genre of music you don't like as bad and not art that I'm not a fan of, but can respect people who like it.
yeah.
You know, that's where I am with horror.
Yeah, this looks interesting. I recently kind of refamiliarized myself with what the hell the whole Hellstrom thing's about.
The way you described it was just Marvel's Constantine.
It's a very gross oversimplification, but yeah. The whole supernatural detective, also an exorcist. Yeah, this seems really cool. I'm very excited for it. There was also some talk about Hellstrom had. This show is timely. Marvel's Hellstrom stars June Carroll and Robert Wisdom. Take a shot every time I just completely shit the bed during this episode. Opens up about personal experiences of racism during Comic-Con at home. The Hellstrom panel at Comic-Con at Home opened on a somber note as stars June Carroll and Robert Wisdom reveal their own personal experiences of racism and how it ties into the Hulu drama. This show is timely because it's about people trying to figure out who they are in the face of pure evil. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. She plays Louise Hastings in Hellstrom. Carol said that assumptions, projections, suspicion, appropriation, objectification, slurs, violation, and lack of representation are a few of the million ways you can kill someone, and revealed that she has a lot to do every time she leaves the house to feel safe. I am not sure why, given all that it still takes watching someone die in an 8-minute and 40-second video to finally recognize it's all damage and that it's all the same death. Everybody feels bad and wants to know what to do. Great. Want to educate yourself? Great. Google it. Read a book. You want to do something revolutionary? Get off center stage. There are a whole bunch of people standing around outside. You want to do better? Do better. Treat other people the way you want treated. It's not that hard. You do have to put some skin in the game. You have to stop making it all about you. Yeah. Very timely words, and the whole idea of just looking into just abject darkness and trying to make the world better. It's a little close. And yeah, representation matters, and pay attention to artists of color when they say as much. Tying in with that, I'm going to go a little out of order with the show notes.
I know where you're going to next.
Huh?
So I think I know where you're going to next.
So this story is really ugly and really disappointing. So up top, fuck Jeff Loeb. Daredevil actor Peter Shinkoda, I can't read. This is the worst episode for me to forget my letters. Is alleging that a Marvel executive cut his and another actor's storylines on the show because, this is the quote from Jeff Loeb, nobody gives a shit about Asian people.
With as much anime as I watch, I can promise you that that is untrue.
Yeah, and just on a human level, I can promise you that that's not true. That's kind of part of the problem, is when you don't show it, people just go that kind of like subconsciously filter out the fact that they didn't see it and assume that it wasn't worth seeing. Shinkoda played Nobu in the Netflix Marvel universe, and the other Asian actor in question is the lovely lady who played Madame Gao. And like he just basically goes on to say that Jeff Loeb told them that their stories didn't matter, cut subplots that had a lot to do with Nobu and Gao out of the story, and also didn't invite them to premieres for anything and he only found out about said premieres, as did the Madame Gao actress, whose name is escaping me and I couldn't find it in the article, that they only found out until castmates were posting about it. So everybody in the room shit the bed here. You know, like, at its core, Jeff Loeb is the biggest offender here. However, this is where it falls on the shoulders of other people in the room to tell him to go fuck himself and come to his defense, especially with his shit like the premiere. You know, like, if you're dealing with a situation that results in the writer's room being fucked with, like, that's a fight for a whole lot of people, and that's when, like, the writers union gets to step in and an actors guild gets to step in. Shit like the premiere, to hell with that. Have that be Charlie Cox's 1+ or +1, whatever. That's the phone I have, is a 1+. There are so many workarounds here to act with some amount of defiance and responsibility, and I'm kind of really disappointed in everybody who didn't act accordingly in this situation.
I think that comes down a little bit just to, like, how involved everyone else was. You know, like, if they were aware and didn't do anything, that obviously is important. If they weren't, you know, I'm sure they're looking at the story the same way we are then.
I would hope.
And, you know,
I would really hope.
Now, you watch tonight, we're going to get a story of Charlie Cox comes out in defense of Jeff Loeb.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I really don't want that to happen.
I don't either.
I'd be so upset.
It would be real. I would hate to never watch Daredevil again.
Yeah. Moving right along, we have actual comic book news.
What's a comic book?
Just as a little brief thing, the Marvel's Next Big Thing panel touched... well, this is basically like the Marvel panel that had everything encompassing it. They had like a look back on the MCU announcements in Hall H. You got Marvel storyboards, all kinds of fun stuff floating around out there, just Marvel related. And now,
can I just read them what you have in the show notes? Can I just read this?
Please do.
New Mutants has a clip and the audacity to still have a release date.
What?
You have 1 month. The clock is ticking.
What do you think of the clip, Travis? The clip and trailer.
It had bears. When it opened with the fucking proverb, I was like, I swear to God, if I see a giant goddamn bear in this trailer, and then I saw 3, like, I don't... And the creepy face things that were very clear, like, not even... Obviously, they'd be CG, but, like, they were CG.
Yeah. Almost rubbery. They looked like they were made out of, like, eraser tops. And
I'm so excited for this movie. You said it earlier, and you said if this is the finished product, holy shit, this movie is dead. And I'm like,
yeah.
I need it to be. I need this to be what I watch.
You have a month. You have a fucking month to fix that. It looks so bad.
That's assuming. So it says in theaters August 28th. We're not going to have theaters on August 28th.
No, we're not. We're not. There's not a chance in hell that this movie makes it to a theater.
Well, it can, just not in the United States. And even still.
It can. But, like...
Oh, it won't be finished.
This movie needs a Hail Mary. This movie... Like, granted, like, okay, it's best chance, and obviously we'll talk about Tenet when we get there, but, like, in a world where that didn't happen...
We're talking about both of these movies again. I love it.
At least one is definitely going to be good.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure Tenet is going to be good.
I was really hoping to be like, I'm sure New Mutants is going to be fantastic.
New Mutants is going to outperform Nolan. Like, let's say that the plan... So we had Tenet coming out. The original plan was like mid-August.
Yeah.
And then just as that died down, let's say maybe we had people who were like, man, movie theaters are back. Like, I'm in the mood to go see another movie. Oh, this looks like tangentially related to something Marvel Comics.
It has Marvel somewhere on the poster.
I'll go see New Mutants. They're banking on that, the joy of being back in a movie theater, something to do, and also Marvel clout chasing.
Mm-hmm.
They need everything they can get. They need every single dime here to make this worth their while. Just opening in like the 10 theaters that are open in Europe, and how this is the why. Why do you still have a date attached to this?
Rebellions are built on hope, Jared.
Fuck that and fuck your hope. Like, I don't... It's New Mutants. We're used to there not being a release date. We're used to it. Like, let everybody have a good laugh. Hell, lean into it at Comic-Con and be like, and in the true New Mutants fashion, we have no goddamn idea when this is coming out. And just say that. Just be honest with people and say you don't know when it's coming out. Or... just say, just tell us it's coming to Hulu or Disney Plus,
and it can come to Disney Plus.
Yeah, because that PG-13 rating at the end, which was real sneaky the way they tacked that.
Because you're very mesmerized by the giant CG bear.
Yeah, and where my eyes immediately went, oh, yep, Disney Plus, you brought the rating down. Good job. It looks so horrible, like. And again, I'm not the type of person to like rag on an actor. You know, they're doing their best. A lot of the time, a poor performance from an actor stems from poor direction as well. Normally, it's a cocktail of those. Yeah, it's a cocktail of those things. The dad at the beginning of the trailer sounded more confused than he did concerned.
I thought he was trying to be like Russian or like very Eastern European. Like, I thought that they were supposed to be in like Ukraine watching a disaster, and it wasn't until she spoke for like a third time that I was like, no, she's very clearly American. Yeah. It wasn't until the dad, like, his last line that I was like, oh, okay, he is not, like, he's trying to do an American accent.
Don't you let go of my hand! Oh my god. This movie's gonna be a fucking hoot.
I'm so ready.
Whenever we get it.
One day. In 2022.
Yeah, one day, on August 28th, when we all wake up, no posts, no announcements, no hubbub.
It's just on Disney Plus.
Some sorry son of a bitch is gonna happen to open Disney Plus that day and go, New Mutants is on Disney Plus, and then it'll catch on fire on the internet, and then it'll be true. Maybe that's the way they do it. Maybe that's the way they make New Mutants even slightly marketable, is let it be a surprise drop. Because I don't know a single person who is legitimately excited for New Mutants.
Yes, you do. It's me. I'm the one person now, but not for the right reasons.
It's
for all the reasons you think.
I hate that I'm looking at this movie, and this is just like it was with Dark Phoenix. Like, I want the Fox universe to go out
with the respect it deserves.
Yeah. At least on like some kind of high note. Maybe not like a high note. Like,
but just like, we had our run.
Yeah.
It was okay. We progressed a lot for comic book movies.
Yeah. And New Mutants isn't going to be it.
Nope.
And we already know Dark Phoenix wasn't it.
Well, what do you mean that movie was a masterpiece?
Yeah.
You made me watch it. It was a masterpiece.
I'm so perplexed as to what is going on with this. On the bright side, magical, not a lightsaber sword looks cool. And the effect for that looked finished. I guess that's where their time and money went. I don't know what else to say. This looks horrible.
It looked finished. Oh fuck!
I have nothing left for this movie, and I want to get it over with.
I want to know, were they all the same bear? How? Why the bear? I'm very like the bear's what's holding my attention now. I got
Hashtag release the bear cut.
Hashtag. I just
yeah.
I kind of hope it's just a bunch of different bears, or they lean too hard and more hard than they already are into that metaphor from the beginning of the trailer. Like I want that to be somehow like.
I'm so ready for like
they all turn into the good bears, and now it's the Care Bears.
Oh my god. I want like really strange bear metaphors throughout the whole movie. Like
just everyone.
I want the guy from Stranger Things at one point to be wearing a Bears jersey. I want there to be a scene where they're at the hospital and they're like, hey, we brought cookies and they're bear claws. Like I want every possible, like, remember the bear thing. There's a good bear and there's a bad bear and you're somewhere in the middle between the bears.
Don't be the bad bear.
Don't be the bad bear. And they're like, oh, the bears are so bad. Why are you wearing a bad Bears jersey? Like,
that's some bad news, Bears.
Yeah.
I got some bad news for these bears. This movie isn't coming out on August 28th.
There's no fucking way. That's what I really want. I'm dying for that. Like just go all the way in, man. Just if you were going to be this ham-fisted, like have it be a whole ham or bear. I want there to be like somebody really loudly, I'm going to kill you with my bare hands. Anytime a bear is mentioned, they just look right down the barrel of a fucking camera.
I was just about to say that. Anyway.
I can't stand any of this anymore. I just want MCU X-Men at this point. I just let it all die. Let it all go.
Die.
I can't do this anymore.
Let the corpse rest.
I can't do it anymore, man. Anyway, moving into some more news, actual comic book news.
2 in 1 show, goddamn.
Yeah. As if Batman doesn't have enough to deal with in 2020, DC is about to introduce a new villain to his iconic rogues gallery. And he might just be the most twisted one yet. The DC Comics panel at IGN's at-home live stream offered fans a closer look at Dark Knight's death metal, with writers Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo appearing to tease what's still to come with the remaining 5 issues of this series. Death Metal number 3 will shine a spotlight on Batman's newest nemesis, a villain known as the Robin King. As the first 2 chapters of Death Metal have shown, the Batman who laughs has only grown more powerful and dangerous in the Death Metal era. Though this twisted, Jokerized version of the Batman was killed by Wonder Woman in issue 1, his brain was transplanted into the body of another evil Batman in issue 2. In this new body, the Batman who laughs has the reality-altering powers of Dr. Manhattan. He even has a new name to befit his boosted power level. This is some shit Travis would write. The Darkest Knight. Issue 3 will introduce the Darkest Knight's new sidekick, the Robin King. Formerly one of the demonic Robins, the Batman who laughs came chained up his side. This ex-boy wonder may just be the most demented and terrifying foe Batman has ever grappled with. So here's a picture of the Darkest Knight and the Robin King in front of a dinosaur.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I saw that.
Scott Snyder teased a majorly disturbing encounter between the Robin King and the JSA. As Snyder describes the character, the Robin King seems to have the personality of Burt Ward's Robin mixed with the love and violence and sadism to rival his masters. As he encounters these stately older heroes, the Robin King reveals he dug up the corpse of Barry Allen's mother and stuffed her into the flash ring, and then murdered Alan Scott's children, mixed their ashes, and created a ring capable of canceling out that of the Green Lanterns.
What? I've been holding on to this joke about how the Robin King sounds like a mix of Red Robin and Burger King. And you're gonna hit me with that? What?
It shows you where my head is at, because you said Red Robin, I thought Tim Drake.
Yeah, that
Not
makes
Yum.
sense. No, I'm going full, like, this dude's in a red shirt, a blue hat, giving you endless fries and a Whopper. Like,
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Levi would be proud.
he's stuffing Barry Allen's mother. Nora Allen is in the flash ring. Why? I know why, but why?
Because fuck you and the Flash. He's this 10-year-old kid, but he's definitely he's one of our darkest creations. You don't say, Scott, but I love him, because what I want the heroes to go up against here is something that says everything you believe people to be, everything you hope we are, we aren't. That's 2020 slogan. And you want representations of that. With the Batman who laughs. And with, yeah. And with the Robin King, the eviler and darker the villain, the more the heroes are challenged by what they see in human nature. It becomes harder and harder to be hopeful. 2020. Snyder continued, he's not just evil to make something incredibly fun and dark. He is those things, but it's also meant to be something you read and hits you in a way that's poignant, because he says all these different hopes and aspirations for us are nothing, and I'll show you why. He's a very spooky kid.
Spooky, scary Robin King.
Sticks the Flash's mom in a ring. I love this so much.
I haven't read Dark Knight's Heavy Metal or Darkest Metal, whatever it is. I've read Dark Knight's Metal,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. Like, it's
It's
fantastic.
so good.
And I've heard about this going, and I'm like, I'll wait till it's done. I might not wait till it's done. I clicked on the wrong thing.
I'm probably going to read this in trade once it's all out,
that's been my
because that's
plan.
how I would just like to read things for the most part. Another comic related story that I forgot to put in the notes, even though I freaked out about it last night. It looks like we're getting more Injustice comics soon.
Yeah.
And that story's supposed to to continue in the comics. Tom King, the gentleman who has been at the helm for a lot of the Injustice stuff, just the other day tweeted out the Injustice Eye. And that was it. So either a third game is coming soon, or we're getting comics, but
Or both.
comics probably means game.
Yeah. Which is cool. The Injustice comics definitely like add a lot to those games.
Yeah.
I really like those comics. Yellow Ring Superman is one of my favorites.
That doesn't surprise me. The comics are a lot of fun. The one thing that frustrates me with the comics is that, and it's not a huge change, and it's not story breaking, but the fact that we're only 2 games in and there's already continuity errors frustrates me.
Yeah.
Like, we had to change with the Robin killing situation, and that got on my nerves a little bit, just because I like the way it was framed in the comics so much. But it is what it is, and I will take more from that very unique storyline any day. I was counting on you vamping while I get back to the show notes.
Sorry. Yes, Injustice good. I like game. Give more comic.
Yes, I like game, give more comic, indeed. I really want to know where that game goes from here.
Oh yeah, I have no idea.
Like, we've already done...
Which-
oh no, Superman got out.
Which ending is the canon ending for Injustice
I don't even
2?
think they've said.
Interesting. Well, I mean, if they continue the story, they're going to have to pick.
Yeah. Well, you'll figure out, like, if Superman doesn't have Batman as a Brainiac slave, then you know which one it was. I want to know which one it is. And, like, part of me almost hopes it's the dark ending.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, oh no, Superman got out again somehow is a less fun premise than how the hell do we get Batman out of this? Or even Batman's not the lead protagonist anymore. And I don't like saying that, but like, I think that would be really bold of this game to go like full The Last of Us and create a situation where it's like, okay, yeah, Batman's no longer in this story. Like, we'll throw him on the roster because it's fucking Batman, and they did it with Joker.
Yeah.
But maybe kill Batman, or like, hell, this could be your opportunity for Damian to have a redemption story. And let Damian become the new Batman, recognize, and in a very like dark, twisted way, where like have the right thing for Damian to do be the wrong thing he's been trying to do with putting down Bruce. Mm-hmm. I think that would be really interesting. I think that would be one hell of a way to close the story out. Or close out Bruce's story in this universe, at least. But yeah. Injustice.
We're going to do it now, or we're going to save it? It's up to you.
Now, let's get into it.
Okay.
I'm going to let you take point on it, though.
So we got a clip for our favorite cut of our favorite movie.
There's 3 stories. And it's shit about Tenet, shit about New Mutants, and the fucking Snyder Cut. And I feel like that's all we talk about on this podcast at this point.
What else is there to
And we
talk
got
about?
the hat trick in this episode.
So we got that clip. I thought it was going to be longer. But,
Oh, yeah.
tis what tis. And we see officially on screen Superman in just a black version of his normal costume. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I love Return from the Dead Superman's outfit, where it's just the black and he has the long hair from being in the coma, and I like that.
So
I think
you really want like the most 90s shit
Yes.
in this movie.
Absolutely. Like the look he has in Reign of the Supermen.
Yeah.
Where he has the scruff and the fucking mullet, and
Yeah.
I love it so much. And I feel like in another like, well, no one cares and I like it this way from Zack Snyder, it's just the exact same costume but black, probably for no fucking reason. That's my thing, is like, the whole point of him in that suit is that he just woke up and has to get to the fight immediately.
So there is a deleted scene in Justice League where like the black suit is present. He doesn't have it on, but it's there. And Zack Snyder did mention, I'm almost afraid to say this sentence to you. Zack Snyder said that, well, he has to have a different suit on because the blue one has a hole in it. I think you guys can't see the face that Travis is making, but I'm pretty sure it just shortened his life by 10 years by saying that to him.
At least. Oh my god.
How do you feel?
Does he just not wash it? Does it... Like, it's gotten beaten up in other fights. I think it got torn up when he fought Zod. When he fought Zod. Did he just...
I don't think it got beat up at all during that fight.
I haven't watched Man of Steel in over half a decade. Oh my god, I'm old.
Well, I hope you know, in the lead up to the Snyder Cut,
yeah.
once we have a release date,
Oh yeah.
we're doing what we did before, but with the DCEU.
Oh, that's dangerous.
And we're doing the ultimate cut.
Oh, we have to. There's no other way to do it. Yeah, I just, like I said, I don't mind. Why is it just the same costume? Why are you so fucking lazy? Read a book. You are working with the most iconic superhero in history. With the exception of maybe the other one in your movie and the one you're not allowed to... I swear to God, if Zack Snyder ever puts a finger anywhere near Spider-Man...
That won't happen.
It can't.
There's no way. We say that now. So,
I'm not a fan.
you're not a fan.
I'm not a fan because I think it's lazy. I'm waiting to see, like, beyond there's a hole in it. Like, where does it come from? Because he's in, like, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a minute since I've seen Justice League, but when they're fighting him after they revive him, he's in, like, kind of just a black jumpsuit.
He's shirtless. He just has pants on.
Okay. Are they black? I can't remember.
I think they're black, but I'm also pretty sure that he's just they're suit pants.
Okay.
Because they buried him in Smallville.
Right.
So they took
it's
him
what he
out of
okay.
his suit.
Okay.
Like suit and tie, not
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's my whole thing, is it's going to depend on how and where he gets the suit. Because clearly...
If the deleted scene is what it is from the Kryptonian ship he came in.
Like, it's just there.
Yeah. Like, it's something that's there.
Okay.
Like, it is still of Kryptonian origins. He didn't just Flex Seal the suit back together.
And paint it black.
And paint... Well, the Flex Seal is black.
Okay.
That's where it would come from.
Okay, if that's how it happens, I'm totally okay with it. Yeah.
Phil Swift is the one above all.
Phil Swift is actually another Kryptonian living on Earth. Just like, I got you, Soups. I made this specifically for your suit. It's called Flex Seal. I might sell it.
No, I want the scene where Doomsday murders Superman and just...
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage!
Someone make that. It's got to exist, but somebody make
Somewhere.
that. Because clearly, even in Snyder's Cut, they're not doing a proper healing coma.
No. He's buried. He's in the ground. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that didn't matter in any other version.
Fair.
But, like, they're not doing a proper healing coma, so it makes sense that he wouldn't be, like, in that getup.
Yeah.
You could have just dropped the cape and kept his hair long, and then, like, maybe he adds I don't know, like I said, I need to see the movie, but as it stands, I'm gonna hate this the same way I hated BVS.
Ooh. Wow.
Where I'm like it's the Jimmy Olsen thing. It's the, like,
yeah.
you know, there's some artistic vision here, but when, like, you can't tell me you're respecting the source material. And not that that's always important, but, like,
It only becomes important because of the way he talks about the
exactly.
source material.
When my call out is...
Yeah, there's a pretentiousness to him that makes you go, have you actually read any of this?
Like, when your reaction to why'd you kill off Jimmy Olsen and make him a CIA agent, that's really weird. I just thought it'd be neat. No one cares about Jimmy Olsen, Superman's best friend that isn't a superhero. Pulitzer Prize winning photographer Jimmy Olsen. No one cares about him.
With a bullet in his brain in the desert.
But
or that Dick Grayson's dead off screen.
that's not even. Yeah, like that's a whole other like case of can of worms. Like I can't even imagine the hell you would raise, the hell I would raise if because if we knew why, if we knew how Dick Grayson died, it's gonna be a stupid fucking reason.
It was Joker and Harley. We know that.
But like, it's gonna be some dumb shit.
Oh, totally. So
There is another facet to this story, Jared.
there is. I do want to talk about the suit a little bit, though.
Okay, talk about the suit.
I do like it.
And that's fair.
A lot of it has to do with I like the color on it. I like the fact that it is not a solid black suit.
Mm-hmm.
I like that there is some of the silver on the S. I like the charcoal cape. Aesthetically, it is very pleasing. And knowing that they aren't going to do the healing coma thing, I can live with the fact that this is the version of the suit we're getting. As long as there is just a passing reason why there is an extra suit that happens to be black on board.
Yeah, like if you have 4.5 hours of this movie, if at some point Jor-El doesn't show up and say, yeah, this is for in case you ever needed to go into a healing coma, which he would have been in anyway. That's a whole discussion. But
so the other thing I think is interesting is if you remember back to the Comic-Con before Justice League came out, this is the scene that the trailer ended with. Is Alfred is in the Batcave. He's doing whatever. His glass of scotch starts to rumble, and you hear like feet touch the ground, and you can't see who Alfred is talking to, but Alfred's like, "He said you'd be here. I hope you're not too late." End of the trailer. So I like that there's like a little bit of like a bookend here that they're showing like what that scene was going to be, which takes us into the other half of this story. Oh, this is such a hot mess. I want to find the direct quote.
that is the most Zack Snyder quote I think I've ever heard in my life.
The story itself is that none of the footage shot explicitly for Joss Whedon's version of Justice League will be in Justice League, the Snyder Cut. Because, as Daddy Zack said so eloquently, that is a hard fucking fact. I literally would blow that thing up if I had thought for a second. Anything you see in a movie that reminds me of that reminds you of a theatrical release, which again, famously, I literally have never seen, would be because that was a thing I had done, and I was I was being borrowed for whatever, that Frankenstein's monster that you got in the theater. So none of the footage that Joss Whedon shot is going to be in the Snyder Cut. Because Zack Snyder wants a movie that he made to come out, and I'm sure that also has a lot to do with the fact that the cast is finally pushing back on Joss Whedon and his misbehavior on set. With the most Zack Snyder quote ever. I also didn't know. Sorry to cut you off. I didn't realize that whole Zack Snyder's never seen Justice League thing. I thought that was just a thing the cult said. I thought people just said, "Oh, Zack Snyder's never gonna watch it because it wasn't his creation. They bastardized it, whatever." I didn't think that was actually a thing until now,
with him saying it.
Yeah,
I mean,
which again doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. All he had to say, that's my thing with him. All he had to say was, I don't even have access to that footage. Because that's what makes sense to me. Is that, like, when he's looking over the footage he has to make this movie, he wouldn't have Whedon's shots,
Yeah.
right? Like
he could get access to
Like, he
them.
could
But why
if he-
would you? If the whole
yeah.
point is like, this is my version of the movie.
and you have enough, you shouldn't need them anyway, and he would just have to say that. But he has to go full Zack Snyder,
Yeah.
you know. If you had any, if you were at all, inclined to the source material, you'd understand that Batman murders on the regular.
Batman has a gun, not a grappling hook. He just carries a Glock.
The back Glock, if
The
you
the bat blicky, if you will. Keep that motherfucking bat thang on him. Yeah, you know. Again, like I support this decision.
Yeah,
the
I do
whole
too.
point is for it to be the Snyder cut.
Todd Phillips had a similar thing where, like, he had a very him quote that sounded like him being a shithead, but it made sense, where he was like, I don't release deleted scenes in my movies because I released the movie I wanted to release. And, like, as pretentious as you fucking sound, as an artist, I guess that makes sense, where you're like, I'm going to show the art I want to show. But
Yeah, which again makes sense. It's just that it's
Yeah.
wrapped in the
But also I'm
Zack
a
Snyder
prick.
and Todd Phillips wrapping of just thumb so far up their own ass and whatever. Joel, how are we looking on time?
We are at 50 minutes and 35 seconds.
Wow.
We've hit the big ones, so I mean, this isn't too bad.
Not at all. Again, we don't have 8 movies and 7 TV shows.
That's true.
Travis, all you, honey.
I like that this is becoming a trend. Last year, around this time, The Boys, of which I had barely heard of other than, like, this show exists. It will exist in like 2 weeks. Announced that it was already renewed for a season 2 before it ever hit Amazon Prime. To which we all said, damn, they are confident. And then we watched the show and we understood why.
Yeah.
And they are still just as confident because they are renewed for a season 3 a month out from season 2 releasing on Amazon Prime.
Which isn't unheard of.
Especially now,
Yeah.
like, the first season was and is so good.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, they're all talking about this the same way they were talking about season 1, where they were like, this is going to be incredible. I can only believe them,
Yeah.
right? I'm very excited for season 2, and I'm very, because, again, at this point, they're telling their own story separate from the comics.
Yeah. Which is good.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons.
Well, I was thinking about this earlier, where the boy, like the Amazon show, knows what it is. Like, it's that we are here to hurt your brain and make you, like, squirm in your seat. And on top of that very shocking element that the show is so good at, on top of that, there's also a really strong writer's room and an equally strong cast. So it's not just like shock entertainment. Like it banks on the shock entertainment, but it follows up that punch with the right hook of also the writers are incredible. And then it comes back around with, and also, holy shit, this cast is good. And that's what I think is so good about it, is that it mixes that very base, like, oh, there's blood everywhere.
And
with-
now they have to deal with the repercussions of said blood.
yeah, exactly.
Like, it's fantastic. It's so good. So excited for season 2.
I didn't watch it. I believe another trailer came out at Comic-Con.
I believe you're right, and I also did not watch it.
And
At this point, I'm kind of just waiting.
me too. However, with the trailer, the caption on it when they released it was, if you thought The Dolphin was bad, season 2 is just fucking diabolical.
Fucking diabolical. I'm so excited.
I am so excited. I am the only thing that makes me more excited for season 2 of The Boys is the fact that we get to traumatize Joel and Alexis with season 1. And you are never going to unsee the shit we make you watch with this show.
Okay.
Joel's down like I haven't led him awry with any movies or anything before.
That's bullshit. One word, because it's not separated by a space. Midsummer.
Yeah.
A mistake. Never watch it. Horrible. Traumatizing.
It's
in every way.
Don't say it's horrible. It's a good movie.
Nope. I will refuse to give it any more than 5 marks out of 10.
He was that traumatized by it.
And that's being generous.
Yesterday, while we were setting up for the Bombad cast, Collider did their, like, you know, here are all the things from this genre that you can watch on this service. You know, so they did the best horror on Amazon, and the tweet accompanying the article was unwind and watch Midsummer on Amazon Prime.
Unwind.
And I read that aloud to Joel, and like his eyes turned black. Like he was filled with cosmic rage. We need to do an audio commentary for that. That would be so much fun.
We would hit pause probably every 5 seconds.
Like I just want to make
talk
you guys
about
watch it
every
again.
Aspect of it that's horrible. It's okay. I'll be legit. It's just not my cup of tea. It's like a shit quality oolong tea. Like sucks ass.
Anyway, watch The Boys.
Watch The Boys.
And don't watch Midsummer.
Watch Midsummer.
Watch Midsummer if you want.
And Hereditary. Watch them back to back.
Watch Midsummer and then at me on Twitter how you liked it or didn't like it. And if you agree with me or Jarod.
Yes, I like that idea.
Challenge.
The bat phone is ringing.
Okay, we got to go. Bye.
Yeah, time to suit up.
See you later.
Speaking of television shows and things that are shocking in nature.
Yes, Cody? You sounded like Cody Johnston. I've been listening to a lot of Worst Year Ever and even more news.
That was so. That was like the highest compliment ever. Oh my goodness. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love you very much and agree with you completely. The Game of Thrones prequel series has begun casting, and it's time for a whole lot of people who got traumatized by that show to get ready to come back for more abuse. HBO's House of the Dragon is moving ahead with casting. The show was first announced last October when HBO said there would be a 10-episode straight-to-series order for a Targaryen-centric prequel show co-created by Miguel Sapochnik, I am so sorry, and Ryan Condal. After several fan blogs, including Redian Intelligence and the Wirt Zone, reported hearing about casting info, with sources confirmed to Insider that casting is underway for the series. So far, we don't have an official word from the HBO on exactly which Targaryen the storyline will be the central focus of for the prequel. Below is the original press release for House of the Dragon. Based on George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood, the series is set 300 years before the events of Game of Thrones and tells the story of House Targaryen. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm
excited for you.
I love Game of Thrones. I am more forgiving of the final season than most fans. I know a lot of people hate the final season, and I don't blame them. The way I look at the final season as a season that had great ideas, but didn't give themselves enough breathing room to truly execute them, is my biggest critique of it. But yeah, cool. Game of Thrones prequel coming, and we will have We will be following this story closely and expect review of the season whenever it is eventually out.
In like 45 years.
Yeah, pretty much. Related to other content we will be covering on this show, Nickelodeon's The Legend of Korra is coming to Netflix August 14th.
Yahoo!
This is the Avatar The Last Airbender sequel series. I'm really excited to get into this. I never really got to watch a whole... I mean, like I said, I only watched a little bit of Avatar here and there when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. So when we watched it for this show, that was kind of my first real time taking the whole series in.
Me too.
Yeah, and same with you. And I've not seen even a minute of Korra.
I watched the pilot when it came out. I remember
Okay.
it because, like I said, I had seen the ending of Avatar, and I was like, that was a really cool show. And I never watched any more of it because I was like 11, and at the time, there was no easy access to getting a full series of television. Legend of Korra came out
Back in our day.
back in our day. You watched SpongeBob and you liked it. You didn't care what episode it was.
Anyway,
That was surprisingly close.
thank you.
So I've watched the pilot and maybe the episode after of Legend of Korra, and I know how it ends in true me Avatar fashion, because a lot of people were upset about how it ended.
I know nothing.
I don't.
The only thing
It's
that
a
I
Phantom Menace related reason.
that I knew.
Okay, so you know. Okay,
Is she gay or bi? I can't remember.
are you buying or just curious? You could say I'm bi-curious. Is a line in the pilot of the show.
Oh fuck yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Oh my god. I'm so excited for this show.
From what I understand,
I can't wait to watch angry fat white virgins get angry. And I'm allowed to make those jokes because I'm several of those words. So I get to say fat white virgin.
from what I understand,
And I'm white and a virgin.
I almost left my chair.
I know you did.
The only reason I didn't is because my legs would have come up and taken the table with me. From what I understand, the show is like okay to good, and then season 2 gets kind of rough, and then season 3 is good again, or whatever.
Okay.
It's like it's good, it gets bad, it gets good again, it ends. Like that's from what I understand.
Okay. Well, from what I understand, Legend of Korra was kind of set up to fail by Nickelodeon because they were told it was going to be a limited run. Mm-hmm. And then, I know some of the behind the scenes drama about Korra, where it was they had an order for one season.
So they wrote a story for one season.
Exactly. And then they were like, "Hey, people like this. Let's do a second season." And they just had to like pull that one out of their ass. And then by the time they were like, "Okay, we're going to go for one last season," they were like, "Okay, cool. We prepared for this one." So I'm excited for this. Like I said on Twitter, I look forward to using this podcast as an excuse to religiously watch this show and blast through it in no time. But yeah, be looking out for a Legend of Korra review on the Nerd Academy podcast. In news related to things that will make Levi Baum very happy, the Dragon Prince has been renewed for a total of 4 seasons. If I'm not mistaken, it is currently on its 3rd season, so it looks like the Dragon Prince is going to clock in at a 7-season run.
That is, I believe, when Levi brought this up in our chat, he said it got renewed through season 7. So that sounds right to me.
Yeah. If my math is correct and I'm right about what season they're on. Not much for us to offer on that one. Unfortunately, Levi isn't with us for this episode.
He's been not as much as One Piece, but he's been trying to get us to watch that just about as bad. With the exception of he has to convince one less person about One Piece. So
yeah. And for our last story.
Is that a hat trick I smell?
This is a hat trick. God, can you believe, like, kind of
Happy San Diego, everyone.
happy San Diego.
It really is Christmas.
I remember back whenever Hall of Heroes was a thing, we had like our plate of things we would talk about where it was like, these are the reoccurring stories. And like for a while, Joker was that. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, here's the latest development with Joker. Here's the latest development with Joker. And here's Joker during awards season. And like, there was so much Joker. And then the movie came out and we did our review and we were like, what are we going to talk about next? I'm having that moment like ahead of time with Tenet, New Mutants, and the Snyder Cut. There's a part of me that's like,
the Snyder Cut's going to be nonstop until like at least a month after because it's going to come out, it's going to be bad, and then there's the whole controversy following that. Like we have at least a year and a half of content with the Snyder Cut.
yeah.
New Mutants, at this rate, we have another 2 years with. And Tenet's kind of the curveball.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm just looking forward to what the next reoccurring story that we all kind of groan every time we have to talk about it is. But I saw, I can't remember if I may have saw it on Twitter. I might have seen it or heard it on like Worst Year or Even More News. Somebody made a joke that the United States, for the rest of the year and probably most of 2021, is going to be that kid that wasn't allowed to go on a field trip. It's
from Even More News.
It was Even More News?
Last week's Even More News.
It was like, okay, good. That's where we are.
Yep.
And I was like,
congratulations, guys, we did it.
Yeah, I was like, they're not gonna let movies come out without America getting to be a part of it. I was like, they need this market too much, and I was so fucking wrong. This makes me so angry. Tenet will release internationally in August ahead of US debut. In other words,
yo ho, on my computer screen, Tenet will go.
If you mask not wearing sons of bitches ruin movies for me, I hope you're happy. I am so upset. Like, I read that headline.
What the hell? I cannot answer my friend Dan at this very moment.
Sorry, Dan. I wanted to see this movie so bad. And now I can't. Because people won't wear their masks.
Just go to Europe.
Yeah.
That's all. Just go to Europe.
But here's the thing. Because we won't wear our masks, I'm not allowed in Europe.
Yeah, you're right.
It doesn't work anymore. I can't just... I just can't take a swim over the pond and sneak in. I'm so upset. And like... Is this a crime if I say that I'm gonna pirate Tenet? Am I allowed? Like, is the FCC gonna come arrest me?
Sure,
okay, I'm totally not gonna pirate Tenet.
Good.
I'm not gonna pirate Tenet.
That's good. You should not pirate Tenet.
Pirating is illegal. Planning to do illegal things is illegal.
No, it was a joke.
No.
That was karma, asshole.
See, he's laughing, so it was a joke.
No, I know, and he knows I'm joking. I mean, I'm not joking. Not my statement, but like, we were making eye contact the whole time.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm aware.
Just like how it's okay, as long as it's a joke, it's okay to say I'm going to kill the president of the United States.
Jesus Christ.
See, it was a joke. You laughed.
Right, but there was that borderline when he first said it. He could have.
Joel, it was a joke.
I'm also making a joke. Am I not allowed to joke around too?
Joel, I swear to God, it was a joke. Joel, it was a joke. Joel, it's a joke.
I know.
Whoa! I think I committed too hard to a bit.
You committed a little too hard to the bit.
I'm sorry, Joel.
But I saved Mike 3, so it's okay.
For those of you who heard the big loud crack, that was the microphone against my teeth.
I didn't do that.
So last week, Joel tried to adjust the microphones while we were recording and accidentally sent it right into my mouth. And he cut it out of the show, and I wanted it to stay in.
He's looking at it like, I could just kill him with this.
Joel?
I could choke him out with the mic. I could wrap the cord around his throat.
Joel?
Yes.
I love you.
I have the kill switch. All I have to do is press a button.
Joel, I love you, and that's not a
and
joke.
the podcast dies.
You have worked way too hard on so much to actually do that.
Try me, bitch. What are we talking about?
Tenet and how we're definitely not going to pirate it.
Right. I saw the commercials. I want to see it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It looks neat. It has Batman in it.
Does it really?
That's Robert Pattinson, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like Batman can't.
Oh, like the actual, like...
Not the
Everyone's thinking that Tenet is the sleeper sequel to Inception. No, it's the Dark Knight 4, bitches.
Right.
The Dark Knight 4 turns.
4 turns. So, Travis,
Yes.
favorite story from San Diego week?
Probably either The Boys, just
Yeah?
because, like, I'm glad that we are getting a season 3.
So you're picking a story you're legitimately excited about?
But also, I can't help but love Snyder Cut news,
Yeah.
you know?
We have this really unsettling relationship with it. We enjoy being driven mad by news of that awful show so much. Or movie, rather. Whatever the hell it's going to be.
What's yours?
The New Mutants clip.
Of course.
I was like, yeah, I
The
got
new
every.
bears.
I was like, there's a part of me that's happy that we know exactly what we're getting into, and I'm just glad. There's so much. I feel like right now it's that scene in Hamilton where he gets the letter about John Lawrence being dead, and like he stands up and just immediately, we have so much work to do. Like, the Snyder Cut story is not going to slow down. We have another New Mutants delay imminent.
When do you think? Do you think they're just gonna bite the bullet and drop it on a streaming service, or delay it again?
Oh God!
First of all,
Well, they did have that mass delay of Star Wars and other Disney movies and a couple Marvel projects.
yeah.
So I legitimately don't know. I'm not sure. It looks like they've made up their mind that they are not doing streaming. But the longer this goes on, the more and more I'm like, how can you not?
My hard prediction is that they delay one more time within the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then after, when we close in on that new date, whatever it may be, is when they finally break down and put it on Disney Plus.
We will see. It's always interesting with this New Mutants project that just won't die, that nobody asked for. Joel, what's our time look like?
We are at 73 minutes and 34 seconds.
I am proud of that.
Yeah.
I am very happy with that. Joel, where can the lovely people find you?
You can find me chipping a tooth on Twitter at Jay the Sentinel, and on Instagram at Bass and Bacon Cosplay. Yeah.
You okay?
I'm great. I'm looking forward to tacos.
Yeah?
Tacos.
Taco night. Travis, where can the lovely people find you, sir?
They can find me surviving on Red Bull and Misery on Twitter and Instagram at Travis Political. Jarod.
Yes.
Where?
The people can find me being fascinated with the origins of Mormonism and talking about space wizards and superheroes on Twitter and Instagram at DarkJedi2552. And we're listening to a whole lot of Last Podcast on the Left. You have to listen to these guys. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and at our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com, where, if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon. Speaking of our patrons, thank you to Kason Brion, the Waffle Wizard, and Delta 9 for your patronage. You help us keep the lights on. You help us create the subpar content we give to you guys on a weekly and bi-weekly basis. The latest episode of the Star Wars Versus series is coming out on the 1st. Exar Kun v. Count Dooku. The staunch traditionalist and very unconventional warrior of the dark side. And then our next matchup will be just that, on the light side, and you'll have to listen to find out who that will be. Thank you so much for listening. Class dismissed.